Hi, and welcome back to End Times Prophecy News Update. This is Carrie Geren Scoggins. Today we have a story from Cleveland, Tennessee, where Sheriff Eric Watson was attacked by the American Atheists Association, stating that they were receiving reports that he had a Facebook post up concerning the Easter holiday that liberal atheist non-Christians found offensive. Unfortunately, for the atheists, there is no freedom from religion. The Freedom from Religion Foundation and the ACLU did not procure a freedom from religion in the federal Supreme Court. Of course, this has led to statues of non-Christian pagan idols placed on government land due to anger by the liberals, such as the Baphomet in Detroit, where Satanists gathered and had a satanic ritual at the erection of a pagan god named Baphomet. It happened again at the Denver airport, as well as the anger from atheists in Florida concerning the federal Supreme Court upholding prayer at the county commission meetings, where they opened with prayers to Satan at their county commissioner meetings, stating that they were doing so out of anger at the federal Supreme Court ruling upholding local city offices and county commission meetings being able to open in prayer with, quote, Christian-oriented prayers unto God. We've seen a lot of backlash across this nation, such as the large collie being put on the Empire State Building. Kali being a pagan goddess in Hinduism, one of which there has been animal sacrifices done to, that was known as an evil god of destruction. And another pagan god in Oregon, in a city park, again a Baphomet.
Liberals still make the false claim that if Christian symbols, representations, or open displays of their faith is upon government lands, that non-Christian religions would then be discriminated against as they weren't allowed on government land. However, when we look closer, we see we have far more pagan, New Age, and Wiccan symbols on government land. Take into consideration the Statue of Liberty, also the Egyptian goddess Ishtar. Prior to being Ishtar, the goddess was called Inanna in Babylon. And yes, this fulfills the scripture, Mystery Babylon the Great, mother of all harlots and abominations to the earth, Revelation 17:5. Aside from this main goddess in Wicca, that of Ishtar, our Statue of Liberty, being yet another pagan symbol on government land, we must consider other national monuments. That's such as what is now referred to as the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument is an obelisk, which was a symbol for the pagan god Osiris of Egypt, now recognized in Wicca in the New Age movement and other neo-pagan New Age religions, and again is up on government lands across many states and is a national monument. Another pagan god on government land. We also find on government property the Eye of Horus. Horus, a pagan god now worshipped in Wicca and the New Age movement, one of their main pagan gods and deities, on our $1 bill and littered throughout federal buildings across the United States. More pagan symbols representing pagan deities on government land. Most city and state parks also have symbols to pagan gods on government land, such as Centennial Park in Nashville housing the Parthenon, an exact replica of the original Parthenon, coming complete with over 200 pagan gods and goddesses, and the largest indoor statue of the pagan goddess Athena, now recognized in the New Age movement and Wicca. The largest statue indoors inside the United States is housed on government land, and it's a pagan goddess, now being worshipped by the New Age movement. Coupled with the state seals, which most of the state seals in the United States are that of pagan goddesses. Among the pagan invasion into the United States, we also have the Liberty Bell, which does bear the scripture from Leviticus 25:10, which again is not a freedom from religion. Religious tolerance is expected by those that oppose the Christian faith. Those practicing the anti-Christian religious bigotry have even targeted the "In God We Trust" statement. That from Thomas Jefferson's speech, stating that America has to have faith in God. Now putting "In God We Trust" under attack. Yet there is no freedom from religion. The mere fact that Thomas Jefferson stated this in his speech, making this a famous phrase, points to the fact that there was never a freedom from religion implied. Again, the key issue here is that we usually find when dealing with radical leftist liberals, that they do not respect the constitutional rights straight across the board. They only want freedom for their side, and not freedom for those that oppose their viewpoints. What they really wish for is a Marxist police state. It quietens many liberals to say, well, that's okay, we'll bring in censorship since you think the Constitution is an outdated document. We'll just make sure a religious right Republican is the one deciding what people can and cannot say, privately or on government land. Then you see a different outcome. Censorship is fine in their opinion as long as they make the rules. They do not understand freedom straight across the board. Liberals, when cornered with the fact that our founding fathers continuously quoted the Bible on government land, in sessions, documented over 15,000 times, as stated prior, opening and closing with prayers unto God, and they were on government land and on the government time clock as employees when doing so, showing that a freedom from religion was never implied. The liberals come back with the statement of, oh, most of our founding fathers weren't even Christian. More disinformation from the liberal revisionist history. Only 4 of our founding fathers did not proclaim Christianity, however were deists, and were practicing religious tolerance as others quoted the Bible in their presence. They understood freedom straight across the board, not just for their side, but for those that opposed their viewpoint. Again, not only did the Freedom from Religion Foundation not procure a freedom from religion ruling by the federal Supreme Court, but rather the federal Supreme Court upheld our legal right to proselytize a full uncensored Bible while on government land. Remember that the 1964 Civil Rights Act, Title VII, protects Christian civil rights while on the job. Their open practice of their faith while on the job and in their private businesses, which also includes that of state employees such as police officers. And remember the biblical core values ruling, where the federal Supreme Court upheld our legal right to adhere to biblical core values. On the job, off the job, in our private lives, businesses, and again, this federal law trumps state anti-discrimination laws and upholds the Christian civil rights while on the job such as state employees. This leaves the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the ACLU with no proverbial leg to stand upon. Again, there is no freedom from religion. This has been another End Times Prophecy News Update. Carrie Geren Scoggins. Thank you for listening.